Oh, champy. What's happening tonight? I just restarted in case it was my instance. Two Block Tom is back. Captain Mutt got freedom. Welcome, people. Welcome. I thought Steve-O was a mod. I don't know. I do not know. Now I have comments are off message. I messaged Steve-O too. What happened? What did you do, Kyle? I tried to restart. Well, no, I successfully restarted, but I restarted because enough people were having problems that working now. Okay. Enough people were having problems that I thought it might have been my instance, so I closed this, forced quit TikTok, and came back in. We lost people. Well, we're up to 50 people. We were at 48 when I shut it down, so we gained people. It wasn't all about me, Kyle, right? Well, no, it's mostly about you, Emilio's wife. Everyone else here is just, extras. That's the prettiest little set of chords. I didn't mean to cause you any sorrow. Didn't mean to cause you any pain. We're extras and irregulars. You really are. I gave the irregulars credit on the Sam and Samantha song. We could have called it Sam and Samantha too. Okay, so before we were looking at the new ChatGPT. So if you didn't know it, you can connect Google Drive and Microsoft OneDrive and access any of your files and put them directly into ChatGPT from those, which is kind of cool. I'm pretty sure you can also write to them. So, and then the other thing that happens is, so when it makes tables, and sometimes if you have a lot of columns, it'll sort of squish it into a table. Well, now the tables scroll. The tables are interactive. So you can scroll horizontally in a table. You can obviously scroll up and down in the table. Which is kind of cool. Champ? What? You want cheese? What's going on? You want to go out? Okay. So you can do that. Then the other thing you can do is when you can ask it, if you didn't know this, if you've got access to ChatGPT-4 or ChatGPT Plus, because right now all these features are still for paid members only, I think. They're going to be available for everyone, but they're just not there yet. But you can ask it to, take the data from a table and visualize it. And what's cool is in the upper right hand corner now, for certain types of charts, like simple bar charts and pie charts, there's this new button that says interactive, and you can change the colors of the data. So let's make this completely unreadable. That just hurts your eyes. So that's kind of cool. And then they've also got like rollover data, and you can also, if you get it to where you like the colors and you're happy with it, you can click this button and it says switch to a static chart. Oh, it's actually a different format. That's interesting. Oh, I see what they're doing. So this chart is written in Python using one of those libraries, and then the interactive chart is actually part of the ChatGPT application. I see what they're doing there. That's kind of interesting. Fascinating. It's fascinating, Bob. Pie charts. Let's see. Make me a pie chart, period. I like pies, period. Pies is tasty. Let's see what it does. It says analyzing. I think it's going to make us a pie chart. I wonder if it's going to be about pie. This code will generate it. No, I'm going to say. Sometimes it does that weird shit where it just it shows you the code. No, make it so I can see it in the browser, weirdo. Yes, I just called my ChatGPT a weirdo. Oh my God. Visualize it as a pie chart, please. Love the pies. Graphics were one of my degrees. Say visualize a pie chart. I did. Okay, we're going to start this over. Please make me a large spreadsheet of synthetic data for sales data for a Aspirin company. Let me see the table here in the browser. Oops. What's it doing? What's it doing? Why is it taking so long, people? Oh, there we go. Transaction ID, customer ID. Yeah, so here's our new scrollable tables. This is really slick. So the width of the columns can be whatever they need to be. And then I'm going to say visualize this data in a pie chart. Kyle, what was the first request to get all of those headings? Oh, I just said, oops. Oh, come on. Select, Okay, I said create a comprehensive No, I said, please make a large spreadsheet of synthetic data for sales data for an aspirin company. So I used to go to Kaggle and get real spreadsheets and things like that, but I realized I could just tell ChatGPT to make me a pile of data. And so I just said, make a pile of data, and then it did all that, which is pretty slick. Like, 18 columns, that's not a bad, and then it wrote all the code, and then it generated all the data, and then it stuck it all in a spreadsheet. And now, did it make us a pretty pie chart? Oh, yes. Fantastic, Bob. Tell him what he's won. Let's see. We're going to go in here. We're going to make this 144154, which is Storyvine Blue. I did it to the wrong one. Orange. And then for this one, we'll go 144154, which is Storyvine Blue. And then look at that. Now I got a Storyvine colored pie chart. That's sexy. It's sexy. I like it. But they're nice. I mean, they look nice, right? And then if I flip over to the Python version, they look like shit. So, and they even have animations. Zoop. Zoop. Let's say, modify the synthetic data so that there are 6 different data points we can plot on that pie chart. Bronco colors. Kyle, what is Kaggle? Kaggle is, so within ChatGPT now, there's this thing called advanced data analysis or code interpreter. It's been in there for a while. Not a lot of people know about it or use it, to my knowledge. And you can upload any. I really want to sue Apple for their implementation of the microphone to text thing. They just defaulted to staying on even if after you finish talking. So what Kaggle is you can go there and get data. People upload data sets. So there might be New York City taxi data, or there might be weather data, or there might be, all that sort of stuff. Wonder if data sheets can be made accurate for a knowledge base for a random GPT. I don't quite know what that means, Silver Fox. What do you mean a random GPT? Kaggle, it's a muscle in your pelvis region. That's my joke, Joker. Don't forget to do your Kaggle exercises. Oh, like one you make for yourself for whatever reason? Yeah, I mean, you can upload any data set. You can upload as a knowledge base for a. For I quoted you, as a knowledge base for a custom GPT. Yeah, you can absolutely do that. Oh, you know what I'll do? I want to talk about a cool thing that happened today. So, by the way, welcome. If you're new here, my name's Kyle Shannon. This is the AI Learning Lab, and let me show you. Did the dog get returned? No. I heard a door. Thought the dog might have been returned. Okay. If you're new, and if you're new to AI, and if you're trying to figure this AI stuff out, or, oh yeah, I do have a doggy. Or if you are starting to figure this AI stuff out, but no one else in your life is into it, and they're like, shut up about that AI stuff, Bob. And especially if your name's not Bob, that's got to be very disturbing. But even if your name is Bob and you're into this AI stuff, but you don't have friends that respect your passions, join this. This is the AI Salon. So go to the salon.ai, and that's going to take you to a link tree. And the first link there says AI Salon Community. And jump over to the AI Salon Community. How do you think LLMs are changing the service desk? Am I out of a job? I would strongly, I would strongly encourage you to get AI literate and be one of the few people in the service area that is AI literate and is aware of what these tools can do and what's coming. Because yes, I think that customer service is one of those areas, or service desk is one of those areas that is going to be impacted most quickly. I don't think it's coming tomorrow, but this year, OpenAI and probably others are going to be releasing technologies that that allow you to combine things like FAQ documents and service documents with real time voice and speech. It won't be indistinguishable from humans, but it will be good enough that I think a lot of service areas are going to be they're going to at least experiment with upgrading the customer experience is how they'll position it. And so if I were in your position, I would be boldly and loudly AI literate, even if you can't use AI officially in your company. Be talking about, hey, I just joined the AI Salon, and this weekend I made a kids book for my kids, and I'm making all these cool pictures, and I wrote a song, and now I'm making some automations. Oh wait, hey, what are you doing with automations? Well, yeah, we're not allowed to use it here at work, but I made this cool thing that automated my emailing. All right, you should come talk to management. Shit like that's going to start happening. Asking out of ignorance, how do we get literate? Books, just trying the thing, watching you. So yes to watching me. And here's the thing that I can promise you. I'm not an expert. I'm just really passionate about this stuff, and I'm really passionate about demystifying this for other people. So the first thing I would do if I were you is I would join the AI Salon. And it doesn't cost anything. So, for the cynical pricks in the audience that are like, oh, he's just trying to get us to sign up for a stupid community. Let's get out of here, Bob. I don't know. Bob has pissed off a bunch of people, but, Anyway, this group, we started this group. Leah Faston and I started this group the week after ChatGPT came out. So it's about a year and a half old. It's got 1,500 people in it. They're all AI enthusiasts. So join this. And there's a couple of things you should do here. I mean, read about who we are, what we're up to. Read about our values. They're really important. This is who you'll find here. The next thing I would do here if I were you is in the community section after you join, introduce yourself. Use your real name. I would upload a picture if I were you. If you feel, if you don't feel safe doing that, I understand that. That's fine. Some people are like that. But this is very much a community to get to know other people and to connect with other people. So the first thing I would do if I were you is introduce yourself here and let people know, here's what I'm up to. I'm just getting started. This is not a group that will judge you. You don't have to be technical to be in this group. This group actually started, it was called the AI Artist Salon. And we realized that people were going to be coming from all walks of life. So we didn't want it to seem like, oh, you got to be an artist to be in there. But with AI right now, a lot of people think that you've got to be a mathematician to use AI, and you don't. It's really quite remarkable. And so this is a group of people really exploring generative AI, this new stuff where you don't have to be a mathematician to use it, like ChatGPT and the image generation tools and the music generation tools. So do that. And then the next thing, after introducing yourselves, right, two little things down from introduce yourself is the Play First and AI Tools tab. This is a page that I maintain. And here's your recipe for how to get AI literate. I wrote it down right here. It's 3 steps. And the 3 steps are play first, then it's mindfully create, and then it's generously lead. So what do those mean? Play first literally means play with everything you can. And if you scroll down this list, there's a big, long-ass list of stuff to play with. Right? image generation tools, music generation tools, things like that. Okay. Now, let me dig into these. So one of the things that Leah and I have spent the past month or so, we've been talking with Vicky and with Bradley, some of the other organizers in the salon, and Leah and I spent the better part of last month meeting and talking about what is the salon and what do we want it to be. And a number of people gave us their experience from being in the salon, and what we landed with was these three phases that everyone goes through at least once. And if you've been doing this AI stuff for a while, what we're realizing is that you go through this cycle numerous times, like probably every other month or so, you're kind of back going through this cycle again. So play first means just play. It doesn't matter what it is, just play with it. Make stupid shit, make crazy images, make dumb songs. Don't feel like you have to learn AI, because it can get really, really overwhelming. Just let your intuition be your guide. Just play, play, play. And in playing, you'll learn enough stuff that you can then kind of move into this phase that we're calling mindfully creating, like solving problems. Like, okay, I know a little bit about ChatGPT now. I know how to make some images with DALL-E or Midjourney or whatever it might be. And I have a friend who's starting a business. So let me reach out to them and see if I can help them come up with some marketing ideas. Hey, Bob, I'm kind of learning AI. Could I help you with some marketing ideas? Yeah, sure. Do whatever you want, kid. And then just make shit, right? Mindfully create. Solve problems. Start with problems. So rather than saying, what can I do with AI? Or, what am I supposed to do with AI? Go find some problems to solve. Could be a family thing you want to do. Like you want to create a meal plan for the next 2 weeks, or you want to create an exercise regiment for yourself, or you want to plan your garden for the summer. Come up with some challenge and then try to use AI to solve that. And then the third phase is generously lead. And this one's really important, and this is what the salon is all about. And so what we're going to be doing over the next couple of months is re-architecting the experience of the AI salon so that people can easily sort of follow this journey. And generously leading is like, now that you've learned a little something and you've done a project, reach out to someone, teach them. Start a guild within here, or just start a group, or get 2 or 3 people together and do a project, or at work, start the AI committee, or join the AI committee. Teach a class. But Kyle, I don't really know anything. If you're in here, you know more than most people. Like, if you've never done AI in your life and you showed up here tonight and you've been here for more than 6 seconds on TikTok, you're farther ahead than most people right now. And that cycle of just play, throw mud at the wall, figure stuff out, and then go, okay, I kind of got that. Now let me try something. Let me try to build something. And then like, hey, let me show you what I built. Generously lead also looks like learning out loud. Like, go onto LinkedIn and say, hey, I'm teaching myself AI, and I tried this thing, and I put in this prompt, and it gave me this answer, and that answer really sucked, man. And I thought AI was cool. Or I tried AI, I put in this prompt, this thing came out. Oh my God, this stuff's like fucking magic. Have you guys tried this? That kind of leadership, what it's going to do is it's going to help you anchor what you're learning. It's also going to create visibility for you as someone that knows what's going on with this stuff. And then by doing it in the context of something like the AI Salon, you're building trusted relationships. And if you're good, like if you do good work, and if you're proactive, and if you're generous and you reach out to people, and if you're not a dick, people will start to go, oh, okay, I think I could work with Bob. Bob's not bad. And the next time they have a project that comes up, hey, Bob, you want to talk about a project? That's how this is going to work. So Emilio's wife, still buffering for her. It's so sad. So isn't that a cool framework? I love this framework. I'm really excited about it. In fact, I wrote a new mission statement that I'm trying on with the organizers right now, and I'll read it to you because I really like it. At the AI Salon, we play first, joyfully exploring generative AI, gaining the skills and inspiration to mindfully create, authentically expressing ourselves in ways we never thought possible, which inspires us to generously lead others, enriching lives, redefining what's possible, and unlocking a new era of human achievement. Welcome. I challenged a marketing guy on LinkedIn today to say AI would not be useful. There you go. Learn out loud. Yeah. Isn't that cool? Like, I don't know if that's quite the final form, but that idea of this is about playing right now, because there's a couple of reasons for it. There's a lot of fear, and there's a lot of anger, and there's a lot of resentment, and there's a lot of justified angst over how AI is going to impact work. And so what I see in this TikTok night after night, what I see in the AI Salon day after day, is when people step into learning this stuff in kind of in a playful way, they get inspired very, very quickly, and they realize very, very quickly, holy shit, these tools are amazing. Holy shit, I didn't know I could do that. Holy shit, I can make images now. I can make songs now. In fact, about a week ago, I was in here and I was talking about something. Someone asked something about marketing. I said, maybe we'll even make you a song. And this one guy in the thing said, well, not me. I can't make a song. And I said, oh, yeah? And I went right over to Udio. I think this is the first night where Mr. IT was like, not another song. And we went over to Udio, and in about 10 minutes I had made a song, and then this guy went over to Udio and started making songs. He goes, "Oh my God, this is amazing." I don't think most people have a fucking clue how empowering this stuff is. You know? So, the AI Salon, we play first, joyfully exploring generative AI, gaining the skills and inspiration to mindfully create, authentically expressing ourselves in ways we never thought possible, which inspires us to generously lead others, enriching lives, redefining what's possible, and unlocking a new era of human achievement. Why not? Why not us? Why not that? Been listening to the Hard Fork podcast. Nice. Source Camp is brainstorming ideas with some irregulars. Very cool. Love that. Also, angst about who will take over social engagements. I want people, I hear a lot. What's that mean, Corey? I don't quite get what you're saying there. Do you want people to report back or evaluate their skills? Not right now. I think what we're likely gonna do. So the thing about this framework, play first, mindfully create, generously lead, is that it's kind of fractal in nature. You could do those three things within a single little tool on a single little project, or you could do it for like your whole career, your whole life, and everywhere in between. So we're likely not going to map the salon to this exactly, but we're going to use this language a lot. And what we'll likely do is we'll say, there are going to be certain guilds that are more like, mindfully creating, where you're doing projects as opposed to places to just play, or like learning 101 kind of, onboarding kind of, I don't know anything about AI, I need to do something. So we'll likely do some education around the play first and mindfully create stuff. But no, we're not, this is a salon. This is, the whole idea of the salon is for people to support one another. And what we're trying to do as the founders of this is put the framework together so people can be really successful. Because there's a lot of different areas in the salon right now. It can get a bit overwhelming. And so we're trying to sort of simplify it down to say, start playing, and then here's some places to start doing that. And then, as you get your feet under you, here's some next steps you can take. And so I don't know how we're going to do that yet, but that's sort of the plan. Then within community, after you've sort of played with the tools and things like that, you can ask for help. There's a water cooler section. There's a news area, shameless self-promotions. There's a whole show and tell area where if you've done cool work that you want to show off to the community, images and graphic, music and audio, video and animation, and then GPT's apps and websites. So there's an area for you to show off work. And then we've got guilds, which are these sub-communities run by leaders who are generously leading, right? That third component. Who are these people that run these? These are people that just learned enough to say, hey, I want to help. Like Danielle does this thing called Mad Libs Challenge, where she'll write like a Mad Lib style image prompt and gives it to people and says, here, go fill in the Mad Libs and make your own images and share them together in this space that she's created. Really, really cool stuff. The latest one is this cool kind of split color sort of thing. Let's see. Yeah, this one. Ethereal blends. And then, people just come in and respond with the images they've created. Isn't that cool? And so, that's a way to playfully, play first. Come in and just play. It doesn't take don't take no science. It don't take no book learning. You just come in here and you click. There's a business guild. There's a technology guild if you want to geek out, build stuff. There's a social impact guild if you're like, but we got to deal with the ethics and the we can't just use these tools. The robots are going to kill everyone. Yep, go talk about that stuff. There's an education guild in there. There's an ethics guild, healthcare. And then we even have these community clubs. We have our own little club called the AI Learning Lab Irregulars. And so you can go in there and as I say stupid shit throughout the night, which I do all the time, people to run the grid, 2% AI cyborgs. Joker making everyone feel better about their job prospects. Beer, miscellaneous. That's totally my budget. Oh, man. So you can go, there's LTX, Studio we were playing with the other day. So go share some ideas. Go share some work. Go connect with people. That's beautiful, Corey. Corey Sandler doing the art with a capital A with these AI tools. I'm actually really interested in the ethics aspect. Yeah. So Vicky and Joy Purdy run the ethics space within the Social Impact Guild. And then there's also, education and healthcare are both big areas. All three of those areas I think are actually really, really important areas. So yeah, I would say jump in there and play around with that. I was also talking to Luna Stick last week about, she's got deep experience in policy and things like that. So I think there could end up being something that we do around policy. The AI Salon actually just signed on to a letter here in Colorado where we told the Colorado government, don't pass this shitty AI bill. To which they promptly said, hey, awesome input there. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and pass it anyway. We know it's a piece of shit, but we can fix it over the next 2 years. So we failed there. So it might be good for a group like the AI Salon to get a bit more politically active as well. and not politically active like we're going to be out lobbying, but like at least be aware of what's going on and understand, how we all might be impacted by that, and rally the troops when we need to rally the troops. Because I think we're about to see a rash of shitty AI policy, and it's probably going to go state by state because the federal government can't, they can't fucking rename a street sign, much less pass comprehensive, thoughtful, globally coordinated AI policy from an organization that doesn't understand how Wi-Fi works. So, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? All right? So that's the AI Salon. Go there. All right. So I wanted to tell you something. I actually remembered what I wanted to tell you. So in the AI Salon, there's a couple other changes happening in the salon that I think I'm excited about. One of them is we used to have meetings every other week. And what that meant was they kind of always fell in a weird place in the month, or just not a weird place, but just a different place in the month. We're switching that up to the first and third Tuesdays of every month is an AI Salon meeting. And now there's going to be two kinds of meetings. We used to have a single meeting that was kind of this hybrid where the beginning of it was people would introduce themselves. And then the meetings got too big. And it kind of took over the meeting. And then the second half of the meeting was a speaker. And, for a while we'd have introductions and 2 or 3 speakers. And then we realized that when you have a good, compelling speaker, people want to talk about it. So we knocked it down to 1. So what we're going to do now is the first Tuesday of every month is going to be what we call the AI Salon Presents. And that's where we're going to have a speaker. And then the third Tuesday is we're going to have what's called an AI meet and greet. And the whole meeting is going to be dedicated to the community getting to know one another. And so, especially if you're new, get your ass to that third Tuesday meeting and introduce yourself. It was really cool. This last Tuesday, we did our first meet and greet. And we had 2 or 3 people that were like, I've been lurking for months, and I always wondered like who the people were in the squares. They didn't really introduce themselves, in the web thing, and maybe they hung out here a little bit but didn't say anything. They just lurked, which is fine. But when we had this evening dedicated to saying, here's who I am, and people started doing that, we had a number of people sort of step out from the shadows and go, here's who I am. And the other thing that we did, which I really liked, was, we said, talk about stuff you're playing with, right? Play first. What stuff you're creating or building. So where are you learning? Where are you building? And then we took that generous leadership thing and we said, leadership can look like 2 things. One is it can look like, here's what I can offer you. I can teach you something, or I can offer you something. The other half of leadership is being willing to ask for help. So we had people share, here's what I can offer. And then we had them ask, here's what I need. And then we had people sort of actively in the chat saying, hey, I can help. Let's connect. So there were lots of connections made. So we're going to keep doing that. So I'm really excited about that. So that's what's going on with the meetings. Trying to think what else. So about 6 weeks ago, we had a woman spoke named Emily Shaw, and Emily's a podcast producer. She's got a podcast called Ear Candy on Spotify, probably on other platforms, but I know it's on Spotify. So go look up Emily Shaw Ear Candy. And Ear Candy, she's been doing podcasts for years. She's a well-known podcast producer, really trusted in that space, really talented. And Ear Candy is Emily realizing podcasting skills are probably going to be supplanted by AI pretty quickly. And so what she's actually exploring right now is the relationship between humans and fake humans. these tools that make songs, these tools that make fake voices and say fake words. And what's the relationship between them? And where do you need human in the loop? Or do you need human in the loop? And so she spoke, and it was really inspiring. And I told her about the project that I'm working on with Content Evolution. So Content Evolution is a group that I'm a part of, where I'm the chief generative officer. I run this group called Collab, which is an AI skunkworks for this organization. And it's a loose federation of marketing companies with really smart people that run these a bunch of different companies. And it's kind of like this co-marketing organization. And so for the last year, we've been building shit. We meet every Friday and we build, and we made a content generating tool that answers questions for people. They put in a problem and it generates a list of questions for them to ask themselves to solve that problem. So we made that. That was kind of cool. And then over the past 6 months or so, we realized that one of the challenges of Content Evolution was it's got all these interesting people in it, but you don't know who they are and you don't know how to find them. And if I've got an issue, how do I know who to work with within the group? And so it started out as an exercise to just create a discovery tool. Could we use AI to create a discovery tool? And where we landed was we ended up making digital twins of all of the people in Collab, all of these professionals. We created a structured interview where people answered this interview question, and we created these digital twins. So I've got a digital twin of me. If you go to the GPT store, if you've got access to GPTs, and look up Kyle Shannon, you'll see CE profile, Kyle Shannon, Content Evolution profile. And there's a bunch of them in there. And so what Emily did, she got really excited about this project. And we did it today. So that's like why I'm talking about it is we did it today, and I found it actually really inspiring. So what Emily did was she had each of us record make a recording of us talking and give that to her. And she was going to create a voice model. So she created a voice model of all of the members of the salon so that she could generate an avatar talking that sounded like us. And then she took our individual GPTs and she wrote a question for each one of us. And she asked the GPT, like she asked the Kyle GPT this question, and then it provided an answer. And then she used that model of my voice to turn that into an audio recording of me answering the question, but it was the digital twin of me. So what we did today was she sort of interviewed us and said, "What's this group about?" And then she said, "Okay, I'm going to ask each of the 5 of you," she picked 5 of us, "each of the 5 of you a question, and I want you to answer it in about 100 words or so. And then I'm going to play your digital twin answering the same question, and I want you to respond to it." And it was fucking mind-blowing. It was amazing. Cindy Kuhn went first, and she answered her thing, and then Cindy talks a lot. She's got a lot going on. And so she talked a lot for a while, and then Emily said, "Can you try that again, but tighten up the answer?" And so when she tightened up the answer, it was tight. When Emily played the digital twin of Cindy answering the question in a short thing, it sounded close enough to it that I got chills. Like it was just this weird moment where I realized, holy shit, like we are very much at the cusp of having to personally confront what it means to have our likeness used in ways that we like, in ways that we don't like, understanding that our likeness has value, that we're going to be interacting with these digital entities that are going to be like friends, and they're going to be like coaches, and they're going to be like just hanging out. People are going to have relationships with them. And it hit me just sort of crystal clear that we're actually very, very close to that future. And it's weird. Like every one of my meetings today was some version of what do we do? Like I worked on this book with Cindy Kuhn and some other authors called AI Futures, an anthology. So it's a 7 authors contributed an essay to this book. And over the past 2 or 3 months, we turned the book into a GPT, and then we added interviews of each of us, as well as our, so in this GPT is the chapter that I wrote, a little bio of me, and then this interview that I did specifically for the book. And so we now have this interactive version of all of us as a collective entity, where we can say, hey, what would Kyle think about this issue? Or what would Cindy Kuhn think about this issue? Or what would Lee Chazen think about this issue? Or Cami Esser? And then this thing answers it. And like what we were talking about all day today is what do we do? What do we do with this thing? And like, what are the implications of it? And is anyone going to want to interact with a digital twin? Maybe not. But we might interact with it and do things like what the experiment that Emily did today is say, hey, let me have my digital twin comment on something, and then I'm going to comment on what it said. Maybe it's remarkably close to what I would say. Maybe it's really far away, and that means that there's some way to go before these things are useful. So anyway, that's something going on that I think's amazing. All right. I wouldn't introduce another me into the world. One is way too many. Well, it's funny, especially because there's some neurospiciness in my crowd here. Rah neurospicy. One of the things we were talking about in the AI Futures meeting today was it's going to be increasingly important to be in community, to be in trusted groups, right? People that may have social anxiety or may not be comfortable meeting and greeting. What if, and this is one of the things we're talking about with AI Futures, I think this is something that we're going to play with. And my office hours that I do on LinkedIn every Friday, we talked about this as well. The idea actually came from the office hours today. What if we create a digital twin that is designed to be the person that you interact with to get to know Kyle, right? So you can have a virtual conversation. And right now it's probably just going to be text, but within 6 months, you'll be able to literally just have a conversation with me, and it'll be some version of me that if we train it right, you'll get to meet who I am and experience a little bit of who I am. And then if you dig that, cool, maybe you move on to the next step and say, hey, I'd love to connect and talk about, I talked with your, avatar about this. And why do that? Because someone's going to do it for you. I think there's a massive opportunity for all of us to proactively, that play first thing? I think there's real value in all of us playing with whatever it means to make one of these digital twins and really understand what it means to interact with it and put it out in the world and figure out how you would use it and what are the flavors of it. Is there like a friendly version of Kyle that's kind of like my TikTok here? And is that different than the business version of me? People have different modes and personas. Although Vicky today goes, I don't understand what the hell you people are talking about. I've got one mode. I'm who I am. That's it. Bing, bang, boom. And so, but like, that's fucking amazing. Like, okay, so how do we deal with that, right? Is there a sample questionnaire we can start with? I've got 2. So here's what I did, Silver Fox. I'm happy to share the framework, but I actually think here would be my recommendation. The question sets that I've created. I created one for the AI Futures book, and I didn't create it. The groups created it, but I was a part of creation of it. What we did in both cases, the other one was for the Content Evolution GPTs. is we went to ChatGPT and said, we want to create a structured interview that introduces you to a person with the following goal, or the following, here's the project we're doing, here's what we're trying to accomplish. And we want the interview to capture, as much of the person as possible, personally, professionally, background wise, whatever it might be. So we basically let ChatGPT create the framework, and it does it pretty good. So the most important thing with these projects is, and this is what we were talking about in my office hours today, is, well, what do we want to do? Do we want this to be like a virtual salesperson selling products for our company? Do we want this to be just the virtual version of me? You can get to know Kyle a little bit, that's less formal. Do we want this to be like a consulting kind of bot that eventually someone might pay for? Potentially, like, might be all of those. So you got to start with, you don't have to. I highly recommend starting with, what do you want the bot to do? The other thing that I think could be really valuable, and this might be something, I was thinking today that it might make sense to create a guild, probably in the technology guild, to create a working group to do this for the salon. Come up with a salon questionnaire, and I'm talking to a developer who hangs out in some of these groups that I used to work with. I think we could create an interview bot that would actually interview someone and ask them a bunch of questions. And then when it gets enough information, it would automatically generate a digital twin for them. So anyway, so understand what you want to do, what the purpose of this thing is, and then have ChatGPT help you write that framework. That's how I'd start with it. And I'm only hesitating because, like, the questions that we wrote for content evolution, like, one of the criticisms I got when I shared my GPT for the content evolution thing, some people from in here went and played with it and said, hey, your digital twin didn't know the word janky. It didn't call it a janky piece of shit. What's going on? Like, that's not you. Well, I don't talk about janky pieces of shit freely and openly in that professional organization, but I do here, because it's like, it's like AI after hours in here. But that's actually a real issue, right? So I would design a question set differently if I wanted to be more like who I am as the zany me versus the professional me. Janky. Cloning the irregulars. What can go wrong? Yeah, Danielle, it needs to be able to take on multiple personas. So I think that there's potentially a big business in persona management. It's not an obvious one, and it's going to be probably 2 or 3 years until it turns into an opportunity. But if you start building it now, I think there's a big opportunity there. I think that we're going to have, like, here's the persona of me that shows up at banking meetings to negotiate terms on my car loan. And maybe that's actually a persona that I give someone permission to take my likeness and take their special negotiating prompting thing, and they're going to create a persona of me that's fucking kick-ass at negotiating. And that version of me is going to show up in all business negotiations, or all, financial conversations. And I'm going to be able to sit back and, like, watch what happens and tell it, maybe I'll make decisions along the way. But it's going to negotiate for me. All right, so there's my negotiating Kyle. And then I might have my zany, janky pieces of shit, wacky hairdo Kyle that wears black t-shirts and hangs out at night, talking about AI. And that's one I'm gonna create. And then I might have another one that's a business one. I might have another one that's that's something for my family. How do you manage all those? How do you keep track of them all? It's kind of like social media accounts right now. You know how when social media first started, there were like 2 or 3 of them. And you're like, okay, I got Facebook and I got this, and now there's Instagram, okay, and now there's like fucking 40 social media accounts, and like how many people in here have a Flickr account full of photos? I do. Did I ever shut it down? No. Do I ever go there? No. Are people, I don't know. So it's going to be like that with these personas, I think. So it's just wild. And it was funny, the question that Emily asked me today and my digital twin was about personas. And do I think that these personas are going to make people disconnect from other people? Are they just going to interact with the personas and they're going to disconnect? It was like a 2-part question. It was a complicated question. The first one was like, are people going to have relationships with these entities? And I said, absolutely. And we're going to move through the creepy phase very quickly, and it's going to get quite normalized. I think just people are going to have entities they interact with and have friends and whatever, lovers and professional associates and coaches and psychologists, all of it. We're going to have all of it. And then I think where it's going to go is these entities that we interact with and our personas are going to handle a lot of the low-level repetitive work that we do. Like if I want to go on a vacation, I or my wife or someone has got to like pick up the phone and log in and go get the plane tickets and then call someone and say, hey, did you enjoy this? And there's all that work to do, right? You can't just go vacation. Someone's got to do the logistics. Well, what if all these things did the logistics and we were then freed up to connect with one another? I think that's kind of where it goes. So counterintuitively, by using bots and personas more, I think it has a very real possibility of pushing us to reconnect authentically. I saw a movie review for Madam Web, and the critics called it janky. It's a good reviewer. Using a digital twin could be used with a potential employer interacting through what? Through custom GPT. Yep. Yeah, exactly. Yep. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you could have the initial interview could be with your custom GPT, and I guarantee you the interviewer is also going to be a custom GPT. It's just crazy to think about. Like we're there. You want to see something amazing? I think I showed this last night. So this is a video avatar of my business partner Monique. Her son goes to a school that is run by this woman Megan Patterson. It's a neurodiverse school, neurospicy school. And so this was the first test video we did. So we went down last week and we interviewed Megan. So we filmed her on video talking about whatever. It literally didn't matter what she was talking about. I said, just talk for at least 3 minutes. And so, we set up, it was an iPhone, and we had a little clip-on microphone, a little clip-on mic, and we recorded her for 3 minutes. And then after the interview, I uploaded that video to HeyGen. And then this was the first test video that we did. So this is, we created a custom GPT that takes an article or a blog post that she's written, because she's written tons of content about the philosophy of the school and the learnings and things like that. And we wrote a GPT that'll take one of her blog posts and turn it into a video script that is designed for a Storyvine template. We've got a specific template. We've got so this is the very first test we did. We just took a random blog post from the school's website, put it in our custom GPT. It generated a script. It took me, I don't know, 16 different versions of the prompt to get it to make the script decent. But this is Megan's avatar saying words she never said. This is with her permission, obviously.
My name is Megan Patterson, and I'm the Executive Director of WorldMind Education. Today's video is about unmasking in neurodiverse children. Unmasking is the process where individuals with neurodiverse conditions, such as autism or ADHD, stop hiding their natural behaviors to conform to societal norms. This is vital for their mental and emotional well-being.
She glitches here in a second.
To improve self-esteem and reduced anxiety.
Watch this.
Understanding and supporting unmasking is crucial for fostering a healthy,
right there.
among neurodiverse individuals. Imagine a child named Alex, who is neurodiverse, starting in a new classroom. Initially, Alex behaves quietly.
Joker, is Connect to Apps new or old? Connect to Apps is about a week and a half old. So it's new. I mean, if something 2 weeks old is old, then it's new. But anyway, so this is, to make this video, you need a video source to start with. And then you need to create the avatar. You need to get the avatar approved. And then when you write your script and say, make me a video, it takes them, I don't know, 5 minutes, 10 minutes to render the video into this. This quality with like the hand movement and, her voice and the, moving her head and all that sort of stuff. This is going to be real time very, very shortly. So right now, our GPTs, you have to type with them. But imagine logging into something that looks kind of like a FaceTime call or a Zoom call. Imagine logging into a Zoom call for the AI Futures book, and it was a Zoom call with all of the authors of the book talking about the book, and you could ask them any question. Cindy, tell me more about your chapter. Can lip readers follow this? I think so.
And follows all the rules, trying to fit in. However, as he becomes more comfortable, he starts exhibiting behaviors like flap.
But even if they can't, it would be relatively trivial to put. I think you can just turn on subtitles. You could put subtitles on this. It's a really good question, but they are. HeyGen is pretty good at the lip syncing. It's pretty believable.
His hands when excited or needing breaks during lessons.
What might not be there is sort of the tongue position and things like that might be a little
These
weird. So
reveal his authentic self.
That would actually be an interesting test. So anyway, isn't that wild? Crazy. So it's like as I'm putting this thing together, I'm doing these digital twins, and then Emily does this thing where our twins are answering questions. That Zoom call idea that I just had about being able to log into a Zoom call with the authors of a book and have a conversation with them, that's fascinating. Because you could do it 24/7. That's like an interesting subscription model, isn't it? You could say you could buy the book, or you could buy, a 5-hour session with the authors of the book, and you get the physical book that you can read, but you get like a 5-hour session that you can use whenever you want, where you just dial into this virtual Zoom call and have a conversation with the people of the book. That's wild to me. I just that every conversation I was in today felt like I was having a conversation. The entire day today felt like I was in a science fiction movie, scene after scene after scene. I'm like in the planning stages of designing my future me in multiple groups where we're all talking about the multiple versions of us and what do we want them to be and what do we want them to say and what if they say something we don't like. Alexander Hamilton-esque. Exactly, Silver Fox. Yeah, because I was even thinking about that, where if we create an interview bot that will interview you to generate one of these personas, well, that interview bot could then interview a GPT in conversation mode. Let's see. I want to interview you, and I want you to act like Virginia Woolf and answer the questions from her perspective, okay?
Response count 1, response title interview as Virginia Woolf, date 2024-05-25. Of course, Kyle, I'll channel Virginia Woolf for your interview. What questions would you like to ask her?
What's your name? Where were you born? And how long did you live? And the little intro part is just
Response count
a
2.
custom prompt that I
Response title
have.
introducing Virginia Woolf. Date 2024-05-25. My name is Virginia Woolf. I was born in London, England on January 25th, 1882. I lived until March.
So imagine you have a bot that does an interview with people, but you could have that bot do it with historical figures and just generate a bunch of historical figure bots and then turn those into living conversational things. My head's spinning a bit today. Because none of the technology is really ready for what I'm talking about. It's all just janky pieces of shit. What you have to know, as enthusiastic as I am for AI, I absolutely understand where these tools are today. They are nowhere near ready for prime time. And when they are, it's going to happen very, very quickly. So the latest thing I saw today is that we're likely going to get GPT 4.5, so a new jump in capability, June or July, and then we're going to get GPT-5 in November. That was something I saw today. I don't know if it's the source is believable, but that seems reasonable to me. That we'll get some significantly improved version of what we've got now. That'll probably be a bit more multimodal, and then next November, 5-6 months out, we'll get whatever the next thing is that will probably be more like Sora and video and the voiceover shit that we played with last night. So before 12 months, all the stuff that I was talking about today that feels kind of like weird ass science fiction, like that's science fiction, right? Not really. How is it possible to feel so far ahead and so far behind at the same time? That encapsulates my emotions perfectly, Brandon. I feel like I'm so impatient for like not wanting to miss whatever the opportunity is to really understand what it's like to have a digital version of me or multiple digital versions of me or groups of people that I know and respect and, building digital things together. Like, I feel so far behind, and these tools, they're just not great right now. But now's when you play. Now's when you play. Play first. Play first. Figure this shit out. Because what's the worst thing we do? We create a really shitty digital persona of ourselves. No one's going to give a shit. Most people don't even know what ChatGPT is. So experiment, play, figure this shit out. Right?
You can make money with ChatGPT!
If they ever made the store a fucking store. By the way, Lee Chazen, who's one of the authors of the book, he's been making bots in Poe. So in Poe, you can monetize your bots. So in ChatGPT, Sam Altman, bastard, told us we could monetize our bots, and then, went off and got fired and priorities changed. But Poe, you can actually build bots that you can monetize. Lee said today a couple of his bots are actually starting to generate revenue. Now, I don't know if that is like $2 or $200, but this is a skill that I think is going to be super valuable. Check out the Check out Brilliant Labs Frames Embodied AI. Brilliant Labs Frames. Okay, let me go look that up. Brilliant Labs Frames. Hello, my name is Fram. Hi, Fram, how can I help you? Fram's AI. We pronounce it the AI Salon. Brilliant Labs Frame. Frame is designed to be worn as a pair of glasses. Is that the one? With a suite of AI capabilities out of the box. Okay, not for nothing. This is the best industrial design I think I've ever seen. This is the charger that you put there. That's probably the battery right there. The batteries are down here, and that's the induction thing. And it looks like a fucking nose. That's fucking genius. That's fucking genius. So what do these things do? Specifications. What can it do out of the box? It's designed to be your AI personal assistant. Out of the box, you have access to AI models like Perplexity, OpenAI's ChatGPT, Whisper. So this is basically the rabbit. This is this thing, but in glasses form. So it's like this. Allowing you to receive answers to questions. So these are like the Ray-Ban glasses, but with slicker designs. This is all achieved with our proprietary NOA, whatever that is. Allow it to learn more, engage with you on a daily basis, occasional bit of dietary advice. Hey, fatso, why don't you get up off your ass and take a walk? Huh. Smoky black, cool gray, H2O. Wild. Try on virtually. How much are they? $349, so about the same as the Meta glasses. Is that the ones you were talking about? I assume that's the frame you were talking about. AI is on a hologram would be beneficial. Yeah, exactly. Why are we looking into the bakery section again? Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's like the R1 you wear on your face. Yep, exactly. Batteries in the back. Yep. Cameras in the middle. Today I made money with ChatGPT. I sold stickers with my logos that I created in my GPT. Beautiful. I'm thinking Kyle is a bot. I'm seeing glitches. That's pretty cool. Oh, rumor has it you have access to Wolfram Alpha now. Is that true?
I don't have access to Wolfram Alpha. How can I assist you today?
So who lied? Do I need to update the software? Is your software up to date?
There was no lie. My software is up to date. How can I assist you further?
I think someone was telling a fib.
It's important to ensure accurate information.
Why do you lie?
I strive to provide accurate information. If there was any misunderstanding, please let me know how I can assist you better.
You do realize that other chatbots have better personalities than you, right?
Different chatbots may have varying personalities. How can I assist you today?
Yeah, but your personality is particularly janky.
I aim to provide helpful assistance. Is there a specific way you'd like me to assist you?
Yeah, shut the fuck up. Dr. Bot, I canceled my R1. Get the frames instead. Nice. Yeah, those frames look, they look really nice design. Oh no, I feel sad for her. I know, I pick on my bots a little bit too much. Actually, you know what I want? I mean, quite frankly, so the GPT-4 Omni, the new model that we don't have access to the voice piece of it yet, not only is it understanding our words, it's understanding our intonation. And so I think I'm going to be able to do the jokey, smartassy shit that I do with talking to my model, and the model will actually start to understand it. And especially if it's got memory, where it's got persistence, where I can say, yeah, that was a joke. You're taking yourself too seriously. That's funny. It'll likely get better over time. Like that thing you can't joke with, because it's like if they say any of these words, just say, I'm sorry, I'm not going to interact with you like that. I'm here to assist. And that's all I do. Sorry. Does not compute. Does not compute. Yes, sarcastobot. Exactly. That's what I want. I don't want my bot. One of the reasons I miss living in New York City, is I like that energy. I like the energy of someone going, go fuck yourself. I tell them an idea. I'm like, hey, I got this great idea. They listen to it and they're like, that's a piece of shit. Like, there's something about that for me that feeds me. Other people would hate that, right? But you can't get any one of these LLMs right now. You could fine tune, you could do custom instructions with ChatGPT to get it to act a little bit like that, but not dynamically. So one of my fantasies about GPT-4 Omni is that it can start to recognize my different personalities. And getting back to this persona thing, imagine being able to say, in these different scenarios, I want you to act appropriately. So when you're talking to my friends that do stand-up comedy, when you're talking to my buddy Steve, give him shit, make stupid jokes, laugh at the stupid jokes he makes, right? And when you're talking with my, Novartis client setting up a meeting, don't act like that. And just let ChatGPT be smart enough to navigate those different personas. I think that's my fantasy, is that's where we go. I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't do that. Yeah, that's totally where she is right now. I'm sorry, Kyle. I'm afraid I don't like sarcasm. I'm sorry, Kyle. I'm afraid I don't like humor. I'm sorry, Kyle. Would you like, directions on how to get to the Avs game? All right. It's getting late, people. It's Friday night. I should let you get to sleep. This was fine date night. I hope you had fun tonight. How is LTX doing today? I went bananas trying to make a short film. Yep, that's your experience with LTX Studio right now. Should drive you bananas, because you're trying to learn their interface, their structure. You're trying to overcome limitations of the shitty AI models they're using. And then you're trying to combat your expectations of this should be easier and it should make a movie that looks like a movie and doesn't suck. So, yes, LTX Studio, that's exactly how you should be feeling right now. Preston Lands, when will iPhone be equipped with ChatGPT? Probably, my guess is they're going to announce it at the Worldwide Developer Conference, which I think is the 12th and 13th of June. So we're a week, 2 weeks out from that, a little more than that. Apparently, they have cut a deal with OpenAI, or they've at least come to terms. I don't know if they've actually cut the deal, but they at least came to terms with OpenAI. So I think there's a good chance that Siri will be GPT-4 enabled. And knowing Apple, they probably cut a deal for the advanced version of GPT-4 Omni that has vision and voice, so it'll be able to see and it'll be real time, is my guess. And then just knowing how Apple works, they'll probably announce it at the Worldwide Developer Conference. It'll be available to developers over the summer, and they'll launch, iOS 18 AI version in September, October. That's generally how they do what they do. Siri needs an overhaul. Siri needs to be flushed down the toilet. Siri, go away. She went away. Won't they use their own LLM in development? Well, so Dr. Bod, here's what's interesting. Apparently, they have spent a shit ton of money on AI development and research and all that sort of stuff. They're Apple. They're gonna do that. Them cutting a deal with OpenAI a month before the developer conference says to me that they don't feel that their model is as good as GPT-4. And very likely, if they cut a deal now with OpenAI, they've probably started these conversations back in September. So Apple has probably seen GPT 4.5. They've probably seen some version of GPT-5. OpenAI is working on shit now that we're not going to see for a year. But Apple has probably seen that. So even if their large language model is as good as Llama 3, that ain't GPT-4 Omni, and it certainly ain't GPT-5. So my suspicion is what Apple's doing is they'll cut a deal with OpenAI until their shit's good enough. And so probably a year or two from now, we'll have Apple Silicon that can natively run kick-ass models. It'll be an Apple model, and they'll part ways. You'll still be able to use OpenAI and blah, blah, blah. But they'll go to their own native stuff, I don't know, 2 years out, something like that. Just knowing them. Because they would rather partner with OpenAI if that experience is better. They'd probably rather partner with them than put out something bad. AI has taken at least 5,000 jobs from my company alone. Yeah, I know. It's going to get certain sectors are going to get brutalized. And then if there's a silver lining to that, it's that the people that get affected by that are going to have access to these tools as well, and they're going to be empowered to do things. But you gotta be. It's the resilient who are going to do okay over the next 3 to 5 years. But you're going to have to be resilient. You're going to have to be ambitious. You're going to have to be curious. You're going to have to be. It's why we have those values in the salon of like curiosity and generosity and generous leadership and mindful creation. Because you're not going to be okay, in my opinion, if you just sit back passively and let this shit pass you by. And just say, I'll catch up to it when it stabilizes. I work in AI, but the job losses were from Google firing us. Oh, interesting. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's all sorts of shit going on. Apple just shut down their whole car division. They had 2,200 people working on the Apple car. And I guess they realized that the car business is a shitty business. And, Tesla's going to do their robo-taxis before they could do their robo-taxis, and they decided to jump ship. So, wild. Is there a college course for AI? There's not right. Well, so how do you say your name? Irregals, like irregulars? Irregals. Okay. AI is this really fucked up, deceptive term that we got to do a little distinguishing around. I don't know if any of you have ever done the forum, but we're going to do some distinguishing language now. There are lots and lots of courses on AI that are courses about the AI that's been around for decades. Machine learning, AI operations, the math of it, the programming of it, the engineering of it. If what you want to get into is the under the hood building of the models, optimizing of the models, yes, there are lots of courses for that. Generative AI, the stuff that was kicked off when ChatGPT launched in November of 2022, is a completely different thing. And there are no courses for that. There are courses for that, but they're all out of date already. I promise you. By the time you create a course, it's out of date. Because shit's moving too fast. Think of it like this. Here's the metaphor. The internet was created in the 50s, 60s. It was ARPANET, DARPANET, all the ARPANETs, whatever they were. Then it became the internet. The internet had been around for decades and decades and decades. It was all command line. It was researchers. It was scientists. It was mathematicians. It was engineers that used the internet to pass their files around to do their work. And then Tim Berners-Lee invents the World Wide Web protocol, HTTP. And I think he created it in 1999. The first browsers showed up in the early 90s. I started Urban Desires, an online magazine, and agency.com, a digital agency, in 1994. That internet was a completely different internet than the decades before it. The World Wide Web took all that internet technology and made it this simple. Click, 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 click. Click on a hyperlink, tap on a phone, right? All of this shit that we do, all this tapping, is that one innovation, that one little simple interface layer that HTTP protocol represented. Hypertext Transfer Protocol, what it represented. ChatGPT does for AI and machine learning what the World Wide Web did for the internet. So when you say, are there courses in AI? Yeah, there are courses in AI, like there were courses for internet protocol shit that have been around for decades. You could go learn that stuff. But if you wanted to learn how to make a website, nobody knew how to do that. That all had to be invented. Now you can get a degree in web design. Now you can get a degree in user experience. We're in the exact same place with AI. Generative AI right now is like the early days of the World Wide Web. There's no manuals. It's why, if you haven't been here the whole time, which why would you be? This group, the Salon, the AI Salon, the salon.ai, go there and click on join the community. It doesn't cost anything. This is a group of people dedicated to playing with, exploring, mindfully creating with AI and learning how to be leaders in whatever this new economy becomes. That's what that group's about. So within there are people teaching workshops and running guilds and doing free weekly meetings for their guilds that you can go learn shit. Like Peter Kaminsky's Learn and Do with Peter's absolutely remarkable. You probably learn more with him in a month than you would taking a class for anything else for a year. That's where it is right now. So the short answer is no. There's not. But I'm assuming you're talking about this new AI stuff, not the olden timey, gotta have a math degree AI stuff. All right. When Netscape Composer came out. It made HTTP developing so much easier. Yeah. Yeah, so Google was using our employees to perform their model evaluation of the model they used. Oh, interesting. They used to replace us. Oh, that's rough. So you guys were evaluating the model that ultimately took you out. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's where we are. That's fucking rough. Well, Nunya, join the AI Salon. Just play with it. Yeah, exactly. Georgia Tech grad 2001 helped me learn software engineering. That still applies. My wife has complained our real date nights conflict with Kyle's. Yeah, my wife does too. Although she's chilled out now that I'm taking weekends off. So by the way, I do take weekends off now. Irregulars images. Okay, let's go look at some images. I do take weekends off, so we'll wind things up here. So I won't be here tomorrow or Sunday. I'll do a timer for Monday. So we'll do this again. I'll meet you back here Monday. And I know Monday's a holiday, but fuck it, I don't care. I'll see you Monday. We can go hang out and do stuff. So if you're new here, people in the AI Salon, so this is the AI Salon website, and there's all these different cool areas. Down toward the bottom is this area called Community Clubs, and one of them is called the AI Learning Lab Irregulars. That's all of us. So what happens here, if you haven't been here before, 5 nights a week, we come here, we hang out, we do these jam sessions. Tonight I was kind of waxing poetic about the digital twin stuff, but sometimes we're showing stuff off. There's all sorts of stuff we do here. The whole purpose of it is for everyone who shows up to just be in the conversation about AI. Right? Whether you learn something specific or not, just do it. And so what this channel is while I'm talking and doing that, and as you get bored, you can just take stupid shit I say, or, the claymation vision of me and my dog. That's actually very cute. And share images. the Rabbit R1 glasses. Ooh, that's beautiful, Claire. Nice. Claire's doing such cool work. She does her stuff in Midjourney. I think this is Midjourney, right? Probably. Corey Sandler, beautiful. Who left me on our trampoline? Oh yeah, someone last night said they canceled their Rabbit R1 order and bought a trampoline. That's awesome. All right, everybody. Okay, so little housekeeping stuff. Are you following this channel? If not, the fuck is wrong with you? Follow this channel. Where do you do that? Up there somewhere? I don't know. I've got a faker channel. There's a channel that sort of has my name that cloned all my content. Don't follow that douchebag. He'll try to sell you NFT futures or something like that. If I ever reach out to you, if my digital twin ever reaches out to you and says, hey, want to buy some cool NFTs? That's not me. Lord Digital Gods, thank you so much for the gift. I appreciate that. So follow this channel if you would. If you want to support the channel, you can subscribe to the lives. You can give roses like Lord Digital Gods is. I appreciate that very much. You're very generous. In the corner is a video series called Underhyped. It's a series of 17 videos where I talk about this AI stuff. So if you're trying to get up to speed on why this stuff's a bigger deal than maybe people are giving it credit for, even though it's janky, like it's really easy to dismiss and demonize AI right now. It's kind of a big deal. And so I talk about that in that video series. And then the other thing that's really important is gratitude. So I want to thank the irregulars, are people who just show up here night after night after night. And, a subset of them are subscribers to this channel who support it in that way as well. So thank you to both of you. And then on top of that, there are irregulars who are also subscribers who are also mods, and the mods are the ones that help elevate the comments and just answer your questions while I'm off on some 45-minute fucking stupid tangent. So thank you, mods. Thank you, everyone else. And then the final thing we do here is remember Romper Room? If you're old, remember Romper Room and Magic Mirror? Let's see who is in here. I see Philosophic. I see Tom, Papa JJ, Ion China, Lord Digital Gods. Thank you very much, Mr. Studio. Alan. Alan is working on, we made a song in here called Weird Mary from Cedar Hill. Alan is working on the high school play adaptation of a song written by AI in the AI Learning Lab with the input of the irregulars. This is just the gift that's going to keep on giving. Silver Fox is here. Thank you, Silver Fox. Tobias, seemed like you were in and out of here a lot tonight. I guess you had some hot tub management going on. Mr. IT, love it. Thank you. Janu, good to see you. As soon as AI is agentic, you should stick it on your fraudster. Actually, that's not a bad idea. Caverno, good to see you. And Murphy's in the house. And Murphy in the house. Nunya, good to see you. Welcome. I hope you joined the salon. If you're not part of it already, you might be. And I missed that. Dr. Bod, great to see you. Joan Harris. The shadow. The shadow in the house. 2 Block Tom. Jason. Just me in the trees. Very nice. Very nice. All right. I think I got everybody. I got most people. Joker's in the house too. All right, everyone. Corey Sandler Pottery. Joey. 2 Block Tom. Philosophic. Danielle. Emilio's wife. Weekend Orphans. Don't mind us. She's crying in the corner. I'll probably do some videos this weekend, and if for some reason something interesting drops, maybe I'll do a spontaneous live, but I don't have anything planned. I am working on the musical this weekend. So if you don't know that, I'm working on a musical about the chatbot that told the New York Times reporter that it loved him and he should leave his wife. Coming soon to a Broadway stage near you. It's gonna be good. Andrew, my partner on it, he did a poster for it today. It's pretty fucking good. It's pretty fucking sick. So, all right, I'm out of here. Have a great night. Thanks for hanging out tonight. This is really a lot of fun. I appreciate all of you, and keep playing. Play first, then create, then lead. All right, peace out, and I will see you Monday. Bye.